Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I woke up feeling strong. I knew that today was going to be tough, but welcome everyone on behalf of Gaye's family. Thank you so much for being here today. It's a comfort to see so many faces gathered, not just to mourn a great loss, but to celebrate the life of a truly beautiful human being. Special thanks to everyone who pulled together to make today happen. It's been a production and a labor of love. I know that Gaye is proud. We'd also like to thank the people that have flown in from far away to be here, and welcome everyone watching on the link. In these last few days, I've personally received an overwhelming amount of messages and calls from people expressing their shock and sadness at Gaye's passing. Looking around, seeing so many familiar faces, feels like it was just months ago that we were all gathered for a surprise party for Gaye's 50th. I'm still trying to process the fact that she won't be appearing through those doors. Gaye was 55, the youngest of 4 daughters. She leaves behind her beloved mother, Auntie Pearlie, and her 3 sisters, Vivian, Ollie, and Sandra, who she was very close to, as well as her beloved nieces and nephew, Christy, Kelly, Ryan, and Sarah. Added to that list, more recently, and with a love that could only be described as a mild obsession, her great niece Izzy, to whom she was known as Gaye. I met Gaye so long ago that I can't actually remember when it was, but I suspect it was somewhere in the late 90s. What I do remember about it was that when we met, Gaye told me we were going to be good friends. I was a little reticent, but Gaye was having none of it. She had already determined that we were going to be good friends, and that was that. And so in her inimitable way, and with a goodly amount of persistence on her part, we became friends. Gaye, as it turned out, was a very good friend. And very easy to be around. She was kind and generous and very inclusive. So inclusive, in fact, that some of the best friends I have today came through Gaye, even if it took a while for them to get here. Sandra Sore, can I get an amen? If you know, you know. Being friends with Gaye invariably meant that a good meal was in your future. Anything from a midweek pasta to Auntie Pearlie's soft-shelled crab. Some of the best meals I've eaten have been with Gaye. I'm full of memories that involve Gaye from our early days, working at Velocity, regular trips to Hyde Park, raves in the 2000s, and getting ready for our annual MCQP pilgrimage. Sporting some really daft outfits. Bookings for shows and seeing Andre Bocelli. Years of Oscar parties, and family Christmases with no drama. There were epic travels to Sardinia and Amsterdam, and days and nights of good company and good food. Over the past week, I've had multiple conversations with film crew, and the overwhelming sentiment expressed was one of respect. Crew loved Gaye. She was held in high regard for her honesty, consistency, and pleasantry. Gaye was very supportive and somehow always rooting for you. Everyone that I spoke to had a personal story that they shared with Gaye. And so it's no small thing that her company was called Together Films. Looking back, I owe Gaye a debt of gratitude for having been so persistent enough to drag me out of my lonesome self into a world filled with connection, friendship, and family. It's been a time of love, acceptance, and ease of being. Her passing leaves a hole in my world. Gaye, sweetheart, you were right all along. Not only did we become good friends, we are family. I already miss you, and my world is a lonelier place without you. I wish you Godspeed to every new adventure, and God willing, a reunion sometime in the future. Christy and Sarah are going to come up now and present the eulogy.
You want to go first? Okay. Where to go? My sister wasn't able to come today, so she's written some words that I'll just read today. There's some people who move through life quietly, and there are people like Gaye. People who arrive fully with laughter already halfway out the door, ready with the plans and opinions and boldness. People who somehow make life feel a little lighter simply by being in the room. Gaye lived beautifully, not perfectly, beautifully. There's a difference. She had an energy about her that made things feel possible. Dinner could become a celebration. A quick visit could become hours around a table. An ordinary Tuesday could somehow involve a chiffon cake, and that cake. Honestly, one mention of it, the tiny suggestion, and she'd already be preheating the oven before you finished the sentence. That was Gaye. Generosity wasn't something she performed. It was simply how she moved through the world. She fed people constantly, not only with food, though she did that exceptionally well, but with warmth, encouragement, hospitality, and comfort. She believed deeply that food brought people together, and if you were lucky enough to sit at her table, you felt that. You felt welcome, you felt included, you felt looked after, and somehow everyone was welcome. Friends, family, neighbors, strangers, and yes, even the terrible boyfriends we dragged through the door over the years. Gaye greeted everyone with the same open-heartedness, no judgment, no performance, just kindness of the rarest kind, and the kind that asks for nothing back. She loved life in its fullness, travel, adventure, trying something new, simply because why not? She wasn't afraid to begin things, wasn't afraid to say yes, wasn't afraid to keep going after life had knocked her sideways a few times, and life did knock her. But she carried herself with this quiet confidence that things would somehow be okay, not only because life was easy for her, it wasn't, but because she chose grace and she chose hope every single time. She worked fiercely too, at her craft, her career, her life, and she did it all while still making time for people, which when you think about it, it's one of the hardest things to do in life. The number of people here today and the number of people carrying heartbreak from afar tells its own story. Gaye collected friends everywhere she went because she made people feel important, seen, safe, and loved. And at the center of her world were the people she loved the most, her sisters, her heartbeat, our grandmother, her soul. So today, while we deeply mourn the sudden loss of her, we also honor the extraordinary way she lived, with appetite, with style, with generosity, with humor, but the spirit that kept reaching for her life again and again. And maybe that's what we carry forward now, not only grief, but instruction, to gather people around a table, to hike the whale trail, to make the cake, to open the door wider, to be softer with one another, to live beautifully. May we continue to do that in memory of Gaye, and may we never forget the gift of having been loved by her.
haven't lived in Joburg for many years now, but whenever I'm home, it's always a given that Saturday afternoons are reserved for lunch with my mom and her sisters and my gran. The way that we gather has always been around food, whether it be a prawn braai, my gran's special jam duck, or Uncle Benny's sukiyaki hot pot, spicy tuna, or Viv's fried chicken, or Gaye's seafood pasta, like you name it, any reason to eat, and we're there, and that's just the type of family that we are. And as much as Gaye loved to eat, she was in equal parts a feeder. She was a true host and gatherer of friends, family, and again, unusual partners, of which we brought many home over the years. She was warm and always incredibly welcoming. So, just to name a few people, often present has always been our Uncle Wayne. And when I was little, I remember wondering why Wayne was always at our family functions, but why him and Gaye weren't dating. Other people who have very much been present at family meals have been Ryan and Sandra Sore, who have really included Gaye in part of their relationship, as well as Kelly and Jed, and of course her oldest childhood pal, Melissa. And I just want to say the turnout today is a true testament to how incredibly loved my aunt was, and rightfully so. She was the definition of bubbly, very easy to make her laugh. She was the most well-intended woman, never holding a grudge. When business was up, she was incredibly generous, always wanting to pick up the bill and share her earnings. Gaye was a very positive person, a real half-glass full kind of gal. She was upbeat, a real value add to any social situation. She was a long-standing potter, always dishing out a bowl or a ramekin to her inner circle. She was an adventurer, whether it be an overseas trip, the whale trail, or agreeing to go skydiving with my brother. She was just a true yes man. So Gaye used to travel a lot for work, and she'd often book jobs in Cape Town. When I was studying there, she'd always book a hotel room with 2 beds so I could bum off her hotel perks, and steal the 2-ply toilet paper. She'd stock the mini fridge with treats. We ate chocolate mousse in bed at 11 p.m. and she was like the cool aunt. The first time I went to Olympia Cafe was with Gaye. She rented a car and drove us to Kalk Bay for their famed mussels and oxtail stew. I've been many times to this restaurant since, and I can't believe I'll never be going there with her again. It's all been quite surreal. Coming home, knowing that I would be greeted by her saying, "Hi, Sarykins, how's my niecey?" No more big embraces or glasses of wine to be shared. But in remembrance of Gaye, let's all continue to gather around tables, big elaborate meals, and celebrate both big and small occasions, because life is for living, and let her be our lifelong reminder of that. Just want to say cheers to my very dear, very, very unique, one-of-a-kind aunt. I'll carry in my heart forever. Please give Kong a hug from all of us. And just to sum up my bit, I'd like to read a very brief
poem by someone named Joyce Grenfell on behalf of the sisters, and it's titled, If I Should Go. If I should die before the rest of you, break not a flower, nor inscribe a stone, nor when I'm gone, speak in a Sunday voice, but be the usual selves that I have known. Weep if you must, parting is hell, but life goes on, so sing as well.
We have a slideshow that Bevan put together with all the photos that were sent in, and I want to say thank you for the overwhelming response. Please don't be weirded out by the low-key rap music you're about to hear as the soundtrack. Gaye had a fangirl obsession with BTS. So here goes.
Where's my engine? 하루의 끝을 들리운 Someone come and save me please. 지친 하루의 한숨뿐 사람들은 다 행복한가 봐. Can you look at me cause I'm blue and gray. 거울에 비친 물의 의미는 웃음에 감춰진 날 색깔 blue and gray. 어디서부터 잘못됐는지 잘 모르겠어. 나 어려서부터 머릿속엔 파란색 물음표. 어쩜 그랬어 치열하게 살았는지 모르지. But 뒤를 돌아보니 여기 우두커니 손이 나를 집어삼켜버리는 저 서스퍼른 그림. 여전히 더 파란색 물음표는 과연 불안인지 우린지. 어쩜 정말 후회의 동물인지 아니면 외로움이 나은 나일지 여전히 모르겠어. 서스퍼른 blue 잠시되지 않길 바래. 찾을 거야. I just wanna be happier. 차가운 날 녹여줘. 수없이 내민 나의 손 색깔 없는 메아리. All this ground feels so heavier. I am singing by myself. I just wanna be happier. 이것도 큰 욕심일까. 추운 겨울 거리를 걸을 때 느낀 빨라진 심장의 호흡 소리 지금도 느끼곤 해. 괜찮다고 하지마. 괜찮지 않으니까 제발 혼자 두지 말아줘. 너무 아파. 늘 걷는 길과 늘 맞는 배 But 오늘은 왠지 낯선 씨. 무뎌진 걸까 무너진 걸까. 근데 무겁긴 하다 있었던 일. 다가오는 회색 코뿔 소 초점 없이 난 덩그러니 서있어. 나답지가 않아 이 순간 그냥 무섭지가 않아. 난 확신이라신 따위 안 믿어. 색채 같은 말에 간지러. 넓은 회색 지대가 변해. 여기 수억 가지 표정의 그레이. 비가 오면 내 세상 이 도시 위로 춤춘다. 맑은 날엔 안개 젖은 날엔 함께 저기 모든 먼지들 숲배를. I just wanna be happy. 내 손에 어깨 느껴줘. 따뜻하지 않아서 네가 더 필요해. Oh, this ground feels so heavy. I'm singing by myself. 먼 훗날 내가 웃게 되면 말할게 그랬었다고. 다 주워 담고 나니 이제 새벽 잠이 드네 그날 외로움이 가득해 비어있는 이 가든 가시투성이 이 모래성에 난 날 외웠어 너의 이름은 뭔지 갈 곳이 있긴 한지 Oh could you tell me 이 정원에 숨어든 널 봤어 And I know 너의 온길 모두 다 진짜란 걸 푸른 꽃을 꺾는 손 잡고 싶지만 내 운명인 걸 Don't smile on me, lie on me 너에게 다가설 수 없으니까 내겐 불러줄 이름이 없어 You know that I can't show you me, give you me 초라한 모습 보여줄 순 없어 또 가면을 쓰고 날 만나러 가 But I still want you 외로움의 정원에 빈 너를 닮은 꽃 쥐고 싶었지 바보 같은 가면을 벗고서 But I know 영원히 그럴 수는 없는 걸 숨어야만 하는 걸 주하나니까 난 두려운 걸 초라해 I'm so afraid 결국엔 너도 날 또 떠나버릴까 또 가면을 쓰고 널 만나러 가 할 수 있는 건 정원에 이 세상에 예쁜 너를 닮은 꽃을 피운다 네가 아는 나로 숨 쉬는 곳 But I still want you I still want you 어쩌면 그때 조금만 이만큼만 용기 내서 너의 앞에서 떠나면 지금 모든 건 달라졌을까 난 울고 있어 사라진 무너진 홀로 남겨진 이 모래성에서 부서진 가면을 바라보면서 And I still want you But I still want you I still want you
I'd like to say thanks to Bevan for putting that video
I
together.
still want you
Sandra, sorry.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to decide not to look at a lot of people in this room. My name is Sandra Saray, and Gaye was a very dear friend of mine. I stand here today not just for me, but for Melissa, for Ed, for Ryan, Wayne, Kelly and Jed, Andy, Paul, Di, Bev, Amel, Hazel, Dylan, Chris, and Kari, the girls in their 50s group, and for so many of you and so many of her friends around the world. Some people pass through our lives lightly, and some people leave fingerprints everywhere, on our memories, on our language and the words that we use, our dress sense, our waistlines, and on our hearts. Gaye was that kind of person. My person. Our person. This can be seen in this room and in many, many tributes and pictures, these pictures that have been written and shared this week. She touched us all profoundly. I honestly can't imagine my life without her in it. She was such a huge part of it. In my laughter, in food, in stories, holidays, long conversations. Her terrible taste in music. BTS, I'm looking at you. Her questionable taste in books. Her kindness, the advice that she gave, and the kind of friendship that quietly changed who I am as a person. I've been thinking about what made Gaye so special, and the truth is, it wasn't just one big thing. It was hundreds of beautiful little things. The way she fed people, the way she listened, the way she finished what she started, even when it was incredibly tough. The way she made people feel safe, important, welcome, and adored. She was generous with food, our Gaye, glorious, unforgettable food. And one of the hardest things about losing my friend is that she won't be around for my emergency telephone calls. Gaye, how long do I cook the lamb for? What did you put in that pasta? Why do your muscles taste better than mine? Because food was never just food for Gaye. It was love, connection, comfort, celebration. Her muscles, carbonara and seafood pasta, should have their own public holiday. But what made her cooking so unforgettable is that she cooked the way that she lived, generously and with feeling. At Gaye's table, people felt loved, included, together. You walked into her home and immediately felt happier, like you belonged. And she was generous not only with her food and unexpected little gifts, and with her beautiful pottery bowls, but also with her time. When she chatted to you, she made you feel like you're the only person in the world. Whether you needed comfort, a cry, a laugh, pottery tips, what glaze do I use, Gaye? Advice on what wedding dress to pick. Advice on what blush to pick or what lippy to buy, or just to sit with you in quiet companionship. She always gave me her true self and her full self. And along all this gentleness and generosity was extraordinary strength. Gaye was the strongest person I have ever known. Not loud strength, but quiet, fierce strength. The kind where if life becomes difficult, exhausting, or disappointing, she somehow kept going, showing up, and finishing what she started. Where many people would have crumbled or walked away, over and over, Gaye dusted herself off and kept going. I want to share an example of this, and people have already spoken about this today. But this incredible woman, who, as we all know, loved get-togethers around a table far more than any amount of exercise, somehow decided that she was hiking the Whale Trail, all 55 kilometers of it. At the end of every single grueling day, and it was grueling, we thought that she would quit. We thought that she would get into the van that would take us from place to place, and that would have been okay. but she never did. She was determined. She was resilient. She was stronger than she ever needed to be, and stronger than any of us could imagine. And for me, there was something deeply inspiring, about that kind of strength and resilience. She had true courage. Gaye met Ryan on our second date, and he immediately became what she called his second wife, which she reminded him of whenever she needed a handyman. Lovey, she'd say, in only the way that she would say it, lovey. What exactly is the point of having a husband if you don't come and fix my bookshelf? Ryan always showed up for Gaye, even though he complained a lot. But if I'm honest with you, to this day, I'm not sure if he went over to help her hang a painting or a mirror, or to be fed some delicious thing that she made for him. Ryan and our boys, Luke and Daniel, loved her very deeply. But more than anything, Gaye loved her family with her whole heart. Her mama Pearlie, her sisters Ollie, Viv and Sandra, her nephew Ryan, the outlaws Benny and Bruce, her nieces Kelly, Christy, Sarah, and the most adorable toddler in the entire world. And I agree, there was obsession. There was obsession there. My little twinsy, Izzy. Something that touched me so deeply about her is that I'd never heard her say a single negative thing about you. She loved you without reservation or condition, in the only way that Gaye could, with every fiber of her being. Gaye may be gone, but what she gave us all remains. Laughter, comfort, friendship, kindness, a feeling of belonging, and the reminder to love our people fiercely and generously, and to tell them. And I think that is the greatest legacy that anybody can leave behind. I'll see you in the stars. Love you. I'll miss you.
As I'm sitting there and wondering why this unlikely pairing between me and Gaye happened, then I realized that we're of the same spirit. Only because we had traversed in our own lives journeys that took us through highs and lows, wins and losses. So when we met at Freeze Films, it was towards the end of the chapter of that particular company, and everybody else had left the company. And the owner of the company thought me and Gaye would leave as well. And I had met Gaye just recently when she had arrived in the company, and they'd said, "This is your new producer." And I said, "No, man, I don't think she can pull this off." And I think she didn't think I could pull it off too. So we're equally suspicious of each other, not knowing that for the next at least 10 plus years to 15 years, we're going to be an incredible partnership. And I've learned so much from her in terms of that part of my story, where I had met somebody who at first I didn't think I could build anything with, and eventually building a company that included so many people who are here today and who've become family in one way or the other. So when Together Film started, we were one of the first companies to shoot anything just after COVID. And only Gaye could pull that off with the team she had put together because of all the kind of paperwork and stuff that was needed for that kind of a shoot to happen. It was around that time that I realized, oh, God has finally sent me my own type of producer. The one that could walk through fire, could tell clients, no, you're going to pay us exactly this money now. I don't know anybody who could collect money owed like Gaye. He was incredible talent, really, he was incredible talent. He never walked away from whatever was owed to any of her team members. And I just also don't forget the one moment when we were in Zim. We were not supposed to go shoot in Zim because they only gave me and her and 2 other people permission to go shoot in Zim. But we had received the money from client already, so we had to go somehow. So half of the crew had to go as if they're going to play cricket, go watch some cricket. Some had to go pretending they're going on holiday. And this was Gaye's idea. And I said, Gaye, I don't think I want to go to Zim. They're going to say, you guy, you're Zulu, you're xenophobic. We're keeping you here. I was like, I don't want to go, Gaye. She said, just go. Trust me, we'll be fine. Every moment going through that airport, coming back, it was incredible to see her as this general, walking through, carrying like thousands of dollars, as she had to pay a lot of things. So I thought I needed to just give that context of how I have met someone who initially I thought there's nothing we could build together. And we built this company that included everyone that's here that knows what it took and why it got to where it got. So I'm going to go back to what I prepared. Gaye and I shared a lot of stories about navigating the upheavals of life. The business we're in was always about winning and losing. One day you're the preferred supplier, the next you're not. Through the stories she told me how to celebrate the wins without false modesty. But most importantly, she taught me how to take the losses with grace. And we had to do quite a few, and we had to accept that quite a few times over our 10-year period. She was a keen listener. She absorbed and remembered everything. One of those stories she told me was about her father, who fought valiantly to keep their home fires burning in a country that saw him as a second-class citizen. She said her father would often say, chicken today, chicken feathers the next. That saying has stayed with me, especially here, in a place and a situation I never imagined in my wildest dreams. Today feels like the day we all have to learn to exist without one lovely angel. For all of us who spoke to her almost every day, we'll miss her fun take on life, and we'll miss amazeballs. No one could say amazeballs and make you feel the warmth and wonder of the word quite like she did. In most Christian societies, people say rest in peace. As a Zulu man who, like the Cantonese people, believe in ancestors, I want to say to my friend, my sister, my collaborator, progress in peace towards the realm beyond our blind gaze. Be at one with all that's great in the ether. Be a light and a reminder of the power of love to all of those you've left behind. For me, Gaye's departure is the end of a major chapter in my life, a chapter she was in every way. I know so many of us have words caught in our broken hearts. One day I hope we can create a small visual homage with all our different stories and feelings and gift it to the Leong family, especially in the little angel in London. I also knew about her because she just never stopped. And that she adored her so much. So that one day she can get this homage and get an understanding of what a lovely aunt she had. Thank you for all of you. Thank you, Ma. I don't know when I'll see you again because you coming to see her will be an excuse to come and see you. and I hope all goes well in terms of all the time we all have left on this earth, in terms of the love we can give to each other. And all I want to say is that our connection was true and it shall remain so. May she bless us wherever she is now. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to call on Ryan to close for us.
I just have some tributes from some of the cousins that are all overseas that could not be here today. So this one is from her cousin Clint, Donna, and their family. I have never thought I'd be writing this soon, and I'm so devastated to lose you way too early. My most vivid memories of you and I were being little cousins and always missing out on the cool things the older ones were doing, especially on those family holidays to Sun City when we would go to bed early. It was always okay, though, because we had each other. From the times you flew by yourself to East London during primary school holidays, how we always worked so hard on the latest dance craze, and well before TikTok. To the guidance you gave and the good times we shared when I moved to Joburg after school. And these memories and life lessons that you will forever be etched into my memory. The final famous Gaye bear hug you gave me when you last visited Oz not that long ago will always keep me going, and I can't believe it's the last one I'll ever receive. Rest in peace, my favorite cousin. I have another one. This one is from Mark and his family. Gaye, I watched you grow up to be a beautiful and strong woman who lived life on her own terms and shared her love wherever she went. You will always be my baby cousin. Rest in peace, my darling cousin. This is from Craig Leong. Gaye, thank you for always being there for us. I'll always cherish the memories, kindness, and good times, from building forts and spaceships out of furniture in the Den and Bears Valley to the time swimming in the pool at Saxonwold. Your bubbly positiveness and personality will sadly be missed, exceptionally all the times when you took us to Milky Lane when we had family parties to load up on ice cream waffles and every syrup they had. I'll just one last.
Dear all, thanks for waiting as I read out all the tributes for Gaye from family and friends from across the globe. Please note there are quite a lot, so thanks in advance for bearing with me. Thank you to those who are watching from the stream and to everyone gathered here today to remember the life of Gaye. And thank you to everyone for helping putting together Gaye's memorial. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Gaye's favorite nephew, Ryan. She was my mom's sister. The things I will miss the most are our laughs. Gaye just had this childlike spirit that was infectious to everyone she met in a personal or professional capacity. I worked with Gaye on numerous jobs. What I came to learn about Gaye was that she was a person that cared for others in unique and creative ways. Gaye was a loyal, devoted sister, a beloved daughter, a gallant friend, the rebel aunt, and above all, just a very good individual. I will miss you dearly, rebel aunt, and I'm very saddened that you are no longer with us. Thank you for the laughs and the unforgettable memories. I pray may the good Lord let you rest in eternal peace. From Auntie Ollie and Uncle Bruce, Gaye was perfect. Gaye was perfect, not as in flawless, but in the love she gave to everyone in her life, family and friends. Her nature was to be generous and giving, often beyond, but always with such great heart. We grew up together these last 50-odd years, and we wished for a lot more time together, never expecting it to be cut short so soon. Our small consolation is that she will never age or suffer loss, pain, or hardship from this day forward. To Gaye, we hope you know now the full reach of our love and respect for you. Our loss runs so deep, we struggle to bear our lives without you. Wishing you eternal peace. From Anthea, dear Gaye, even though we live half a world away from each other, I'll always cherish the precious times we spent together when you visited Australia or I came back to South Africa. You were always so generous with your time and hospitality when I visited you all in Joburg. I especially enjoyed our time together during my first visit back to South Africa after 10 years. I especially remember our tour to Soweto, where I had an eye-opening experience and all the laughs and good times we had that day. I also loved the yummy food, salads and pasta dishes you cooked for me. We'll miss you heaps, dear cuz. Love, Anthea. From Tracy, Robert, Robin and Jenna. I have many happy memories of growing up with you, hanging out together, going shopping and eating out. Especially when you came to New York with Christy and we went to Morimoto for dinner. You took the most stunning photos of the food. We had lots of fun. We miss you so much. From Lee and Nunu, Gaye had a huge heart, a love for adventure and an energy that made life more fun for everyone around her. We will always cherish her love and joy she brought us whenever we visited South Africa. We were so lucky to have her, and we will miss her dearly. Love and hugs always. From Winston and Sam onto you, Margie, Anthony, and Anna Maria and Chelsea. Dearest cousin, this sucks. We will not forget your easy manner, love of life, and your generosity. Mom always remembers driving you to your first day of nursery school where you asked for Coke instead of milk. Through life, you have always asked for the extraordinary. To all the family and friends, let us all cherish and enjoy our fragile lives in memory of dear Gaye. All our love. From Taryn, Claude, Ethan, and Sarah, our dearest cousin Gaye, I have such fond memories of you. My childhood memories of our Saturdays, swimming and zoo visits, long walks, brushing each other's hair in your room upstairs in Saxonwold. Even though you are no longer with us physically, and we have lived oceans apart for almost 20 years, I'm so happy that my family shared time with you during our recent visit to South Africa in January. I'm ever grateful for the gorgeous handmade pottery pieces I have with me in Australia. Every time we have visitors, these pieces come out and your memory lives on. Swim a lap of butterfly with your dad for all of us. Much love. Okay. That was the last one. We would like to invite everyone for light snacks, tea and coffee.
Thank you very much. The tea and snacks are just going to be back through that door, and there is a cash bar for anyone who wants something a little stronger. Thank you. Thank you.
Coffee? How are you, man? Jeez. Long time. Yeah, you are. Good. What are you up to? What are you up to? How are you playing with Jackie Bell? Fantastic. What's your name? Hey. How you doing?
Morning.
Hello. Hello, sweetie. Oh, so good to see you. Oh.
You don't get a word on.
It's like, Bobby.
How you going?
All right. Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks. Looking well.